Hi. Can anyone hear me? Am I being heard? All right. Today our live will be about gadgets or devices that I use to conserve. I just an introduction. I conserve my light, my water, and my money. Um, all let me just turn on the light. Yes, yes. I conserve. I conserve my light, my water, and my money. Um, in terms of conserving light and water, I know for a lot of you, it's a grave concern, and we try as we might to try and conserve these things sometimes. However, due to forces beyond our control, sometimes we forget to institute these measures. Um, for me, the light, conserving the light and water is a bit easier for me now, possibly because I've started from way back and it has now become a norm. So it's easier. I'm going to guide you through some of the things that I've used or some of the things that I'm intending to use to honestly even go further. Even though some persons may see conservation as um, tiring or burdensome, it's really not tiring or burdensome. It's it's a measure that you need to keep up. It's rather easy to keep up if you start. So just start. All right. I told you that another conservation is my money. How I conserve my money? I do things myself. Well, as much as I can, I try and do things myself. So take for instance, you see on the channel where I build things, I make things in and around the home. I've tried some very hard tasks and I've succeeded at it. So you'll see some of that. All right, now let's start. Let's start with the water. I remember telling you in a vlog, hi Storm Chaser. I remember telling you in a vlog that I honestly don't see the reason why some of our water bills are so high and we have less pipe than lights. If you count the number of light bulbs you have in the home, you possibly have more more bulbs than pipes, than faucets, sorry. You have more bulbs than faucets. And it's honestly somewhat troublesome when you have a water bill higher than your light bill. It's not looking good. Sometimes no fault of our own, our light bill, our water bills do go up. It honestly goes up, no fault of our own. We're sleeping and the pressure comes in through the main and it bursts a pipe or it crack a pipe. And there's a leak or either underground or you see it in the pipe, the dripping. So that's one of the reasons why sometimes you will have a higher water bill. Or I've seen also many oftentimes where the person's tank overflow. It was just last night, one of my neighbors' tank overflow and he got up in the night. He got up in the night just to sweep that water off his roof. I just imagine how tired he was at the end of the day for all of that, and knowing that he has to pay for water that he did not use. I am aware that the pressure goes up at nights. Um, One of the ways that you can try and control it is to turn the pressure down, turn the lock off down from the main. Sometimes it's hard for us to remember, but it can be done. It's honestly hard sometimes for us to remember, but it can be done. If you're at a point when where you honestly don't remember, there's another solution, and I'll show you. I have I have taken it here. Um, it's called a pressure valve. I'm not sure if you can. Yes, yeah, that's it. It's called a pressure valve, and you can get this pressure valve online. I know it's sold here, or it might be sold in the country where you live. And the pressure valve, it actually regulates your pressure, the pressure of the water coming in through that main. I don't know what it is that at nights why the water comes so heavy, but there's a saying, pressure burst pipe, and it really does. And other than pressure bursting pipe, pressure burst your pocket because it means more money coming out of your pocket. So it's best sometimes to invest in some little gadgets or devices that will help. If you have a problem with pressure, we have the problem around here. But for me personally, I turned on my main. If you honestly have a problem turning down your main, get the pressure valve. It can be hard anywhere. I'll show you again so that you can get an idea as to how it looks. And I don't think you can install this yourself. You probably need to get a plumber or someone who understands how to install it. Well, if you're a plumber, you can, but this is it. You notice it have this timer looking device on it. It shows you when the pressure reaches, it tell you how high it is. How many, it's called PSI. So it will tell you how much PSI of water is coming in through that pressure valve. And you can regulate it from there to say, probably if you only want it to accommodate 80 PSI, then you can regulate it that it don't pass 80 PSI. All right. So that's one of the things that you can use to regulate your water. All right. Another thing too, sometimes other from that pressure troubling our pipes, we have people. And from time to time, it depends on where you live, as a matter of fact. I remember when I was living with my parents, because we live so close to the road, any and everybody want water, they come over our yard. Now, you don't know what would happen if you're not there. Someone would probably come in your yard to fill a bottle to drink water from your outside pipe. So there are things you can do to stop them. Mind you, you might not be there every 24 hours of the day, but you have locks that you can put on these faucets. I have seen a number of different locks that they have on the internet. I have purchased two I have purchased two different kinds before. However, these that I purchased, I think the one that I have now is the one that I prefer. The first one that I had, and I'll show you it. I have a picture here. I know I'll never buy it again because I've seen it. And after a while, it gets bad. It starts leaking. This is it. So it has this straight piece right here, which when you lift it up, you can use it to turn on the pipe itself. and it had, you see this thing here with the hole in it, that's where you put the padlock. So this was the one that I purchased, with the exception of here, because the one that I bought could have handled a hose bib. And for those who don't know what a hose bib is, the hose bib is the different feature of the pipe where you can screw on a hose, a half-inch hose itself. You have different size hose bibs. You have half-inch and you have 3/4. You have half-inch and you have 3/4. The one that is mainly used here is half-inch. We really don't use 3/4 faucets. So we tend to use half-inch. So this one that I was showing you, is the one that I had. And like I tell you, I didn't like it because eventually it started leaking in the top. And when it leaked, because it doesn't use as a washer, or we've never pulled it before to see if it honestly had a washer, but they go bad easily. And I think that's the cheapest one that is sold here. That's the cheapest one that is sold here in my country. And I'll never buy it again. On top of that too, it causes you to use a padlock. No, you need a small padlock for this one. And with rain, if it's a pipe that you honestly don't use very often, but every now and then, you're going to face sometimes the padlock stick together. So it's facing rain and sun. So you're going to cause a bit of problem right there. All right, so that's it for this lock, this pipe lock. Remember, if you want an emergency one and that's the only one you see, I would suggest you buy it, because it would honestly still save you from someone else coming in and using the water that you need to pay for. There's also this other one. And this one uses a key to actually pull that lock, to turn on that faucet or turn on that low pipe that you have outside, or even it might be in your wash tub. Hey Beto. So for this pipe lock, I honestly don't like this one because of the key-like contraption here. Yes, it's a great idea. It's a lovely idea. However, with the keys being that closely looking to a regular padlock key or a regular house key, I don't really like that. So I would consider using another option. There's many more out there, honestly. You don't have to stick with the one that I showed you before or this one. But this is also a good one as well. I think it would be better than the first one that I showed you. This one would be better than that one. But for me, it's a key-like feature. I don't like something that resembles too much of my door key or my grill key. So I would put that one aside. All right, there's another one, and it's this. And this one, they really screw that over the faucet, the mouth of the faucet, and it clamps. So when it clamps, you can't release it unless you remove that padlock. Even if they try to pull the top of the faucet, no water will come out, because it forms. It's like when you put a stop on the pipe, when you cut the pipe and you put a stop on it, so it forms a seal right there. This is what that does. I have never tried this one before. I'm not sure if I want to try it because of the brass, the look of it too. I'm not sure. I'm trying to stay away from the padlocks, so I wouldn't use this one for me personally. I'm going to see if I can find, yeah, I have the one that I personally use. No, couple years ago, I saw a lock, a faucet or a outside pipe that use what they call a key. And it's not a key like the other one that I showed you. It's a key that looks like the pipe top, but it can come off. It doesn't stay on it. It's not fixed on it. And this is it. Some of the keys for the top look sort of different, but this is it. And this is the one that I have. I have this one. I have purchased them online. I think I paid $9 for two. At the time when I purchased it, hi Azevedo. At the time when I purchased it, I honestly purchased it for, I have two pipes. I have one at the front and I have one at the back. The one at the back, I don't need to put anything on it, because in order for you to reach around there, you'll have to pass over other person's home to reach mine. But the one at the front, it's easy walking if you can locate that pipe. I have shown you in a vlog before how I sort of hide that pipe, making it not look like a regular pipe in order to add whimsy to my garden. This is on it. This type of faucet is on it. For the key for this, for the one for the front, it's kept in a small, like, I have a safe that's outside combination. So if you know the combination, you can pull it and take out the key. I've had instances where persons from the water company come trying to turn on the pipe. However, because I think he's so bright, I've had to say, go ahead, turn it on. Try it. If you can turn it on, then turn it on. Because I know that I have the key. So this is the one that I prefer. I've had it for years, and I've never had it going bad. I've never had to replace a washer. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if it has a washer inside of it. I honestly don't know. So that goes for the faucet itself. Then now you have Storm, the pipe. I'm reading. The pipe that I have, it does not, so if it's sold out here, I know the one with the lock, the one where it has the flip and it's locked, that one is sold here. I've seen it out here, and I've seen it for probably $800. Yeah. Or the one that I have, I don't know. I don't know. The one that I have, I purchased two. Online for about, yeah, that's $7 or $9 that I purchased them for. But I know the one that is sold out here is one that has a flip and you can put the lock on it. The one that I tell you that I didn't like, the one that I tried at first, that's the one I know that definitely, yeah, that's the one that I know that is definitely sold out here. For the one that I have, I would suggest you try some of the local hardware, because you know what it is that you're looking for. Just ask them if they have a pipe or a faucet that can be locked. That's it. I can't really tell you if it is sold there or where it is sold. I can't. I don't know. I don't know. And I don't want to say it is sold at such and such a place, because I honestly don't know. I purchased mine online. All right. So that's it for the outside pipe and preventing persons from stealing the water that is outside. So now we're moving on the inside with the faucets. So you have your kitchen faucets, you have your bathroom faucets, and depending on how many bathrooms you have, you might have 1 or 2 bathrooms. So the more bathroom, the more faucets you have in there. And for those 2 faucets, the bathroom and the kitchen, water can be conserved if you have aerators on them. And I'll show you what an aerator is. This is it. It's that mesh-like thing. It's on the bottom of the pipe. The bottom of the pipe, it's on that thing. Some persons, after a while, they think the pipe get bad because no water not coming through. Because this aerator, with the type of water that we have, it can be blocked. It has some little white calcium like, or some little, I think some persons call it hard water. It's also the thing that is inside of a kettle. You know that little white thing? Right. So it has that, and it sometimes clog this section. It sometimes clogs here. So when it clogs here, the water can't come out. And then because the water can't come out, persons get frustrated and they turn up the water from the main, that they push out the water, they turn on the water at the main to maximum capacity so that they think they can get more water in there. Sometimes all it needs is for this to be cleaned. And it's easy to clean. Just take a plastic bag with vinegar in there and tie it on the pipe for a couple, well, probably about 15 minutes. For me, sometimes I would just tie it on and leave it for the day until I'm ready to clean that bathroom. And then it just, when you look inside of it, you'll honestly see the white deposits in there because it cleans easily. But this is a way how you save what you use to save the water indoors. Not all faucets come with them. I don't know why. Sometimes some persons, when they see it, they try and stay away from it. I would assume that they try and stay away from it because they can't clean it. So because they don't know that it could be cleaned, or in order to loosen up that deposit that is stuck in those mesh-like things, they decide not to take it. They don't want any faucet with it. They rather take the faucet that has a bare hole in the pipe so that the water can flush in. Some persons love the water flushing, so they take that one. But what that aerator does is it allows the water to come out with air in there. So you don't use as much water. The water come out with a sort of, I'm not sure if you've ever seen it, like it's lighter, like it has bubbles in there. That's how the water comes out when you use the aerator. So I would suggest, if you're getting your pipes, make sure your pipes have aerators on it, and it's easy to clean. It's easy to clean, so don't worry about the fact that you may have to throw away that pipe. You don't have to throw away that pipe. I have had my pipe now for years, and I have not lost any. As a reader, you have a question. It says, ooh, sorry. All right, smart conserver, smart. That's what you're showing there on your live. It's about your work. No, it's not about my work. It's about conservation. Remember my name, Smart Conserver. So it's all about conservation. I don't do this type of work. I just try and saving money in my pocket. So when I conserve, I pay less bills. Then please, if you can write about your work, if it's very beautiful. You wouldn't really understand my line of work. You wouldn't really understand my line of work, and it's not to be explained here on the net. My line of work is not, it's something that, how must put it now? It's not one that will help me conserve. It is one that will help me make more money. Understood? All right. So now we move on from the water side of things, and we see things we can use in order to save that money. So now we're moving on to the electrical side of things. And for the electrical side of things, I can't stress enough the use of a timer. Please, please, if there's nothing that saves electricity, especially with that refrigerator, it's the timer. I have explained to you guys how persons have used this timer even on lamps. I've seen it used at the first time I've ever seen it used on lamp was when I went away. Someone had a timer on his lamp, and every night at a certain time, the timer would turn on that light and then it turns it back off at a certain time. I think he does it in order to create some common ground where someone on the outside seeing that light come on would probably think, hey, someone is at home, when in all honesty, no one is there. The timer, I can't show you enough, but this is it. You notice the LED display right there? The LED display is, it gives, once you have set it, it gives a current time. It gives a current time, and you can get that time in, some people love to read the 24 hours time, or what they call it, the army time. Yes. Smart Beta, I'm not understanding what you're saying. Possibly you can ask Azevedo to translate for you. Azevedo, would you do the honors, please? Um, it's that timer, like I said, it's very essential for the home. And for me, I use that timer for my refrigerator only. I don't have anything else plugged in that I need for it to come on at a particular time. So that's the only reason why I use the timer. One of my very first approach to telling people to conserve would be to get that timer. I have known that persons have religiously plugged out their refrigerator. For me, where my refrigerator is, it can't be plugged out like that. It would mean removing that fridge, going behind that fridge to plug it out. I don't have that time to do that every night and then plugging it back in the morning. If you have your plug right there where you can reach it, fine. Go ahead. Do the honors. Plug it out. Plug it back in. I don't have that time personally. I don't have that space. I don't have that strength to do it morning and night. I don't. So I use the easy way out and I get that timer. So where I set it and I forget it. Sometimes the fridge chips out. I honestly don't know. I don't even remember that it's all chipped out. So that's it for the timer. Um, Another thing is that I use, because I'm telling you about gadgets that I use. I have what is known as some inverters, and let me explain to you how beneficial an inverter is to me and my household. I have inverters that can be used if the light should go away, or you can use it in order to get electricity in your home with a battery. So take for instance, this is how it really works. I have inverters, but those inverters that I use every day is on the solar panel, the ones that are on the roof. right? So the solar panel that is on the roof, it has inverters on it. But the inverters that I have on those panels are some outdoors inverters. It doesn't look like the ones that I would use normally in my home. All right. So I have one, two, three. I have three inverters. There's a big inverter that I have. I'll show you. I don't think I carried all of my inverters. There's a big one that I have, and for that one, that's the one I want to run to run my wind turbine. Remember, the aim is to get rid of these light people, so I'm going to do everything that I can to get rid of them. All right. So this is the one I have. I have a, see, it's a slimline 1500 inverter. This one, I have not used it before because the plan is to use it on the wind turbine. And this is a contraption of the wind turbine. This is how I plan to set it up. The wind turbine will operate just like a solar panel. The only thing is the wind turbine comes with its own controller. And I'll show you a controller shortly. The controller is what would regulate the electricity for charging, or the whatever energy is coming in for charging that battery, right? That's what the controller does. So if, say, 24 watts is coming in from the panels or the wind turbine, what happens is that controller bring it down to 12 volt in order to charge that 12 volt battery. Understand? If you don't understand, tell me. I can go back over that and probably explain it more with probably diagrams and pictures. So it would regulate that. It will regulate that energy coming in where you don't get more than the required number of volts needed to charge that battery. So when you have that required volt hitting that battery and it charges the battery, then the battery is connected to this, the inverter. When the battery is connected to the inverter, I'll show you on the little one. I don't want to pull this one, but it has sockets where you can plug something directly into it. Understand? So you can plug for this one. I know I can plug a lot of things on it. I think they tell you to what and what you can use it for. I think it's on here. See? So they have the lamp. I think this is a camera system. I think that's a microwave, your PC, and they show even the refrigerator. I know my refrigerator can manage it. However, I don't want this for my refrigerator. My refrigerator is fine. Then I have this small one. This one is 425 watts. That one is 1,500 watts. That's a whole lot of power. You have bigger than these, Why is my thing hazy? Yeah, you have bigger than these. I'll show you the socket that it has. Here it is. See them? So these sockets, you can plug things directly into them. It has an on and off switch as well. I know this one can work a fan. It can work a lot of things. It peaks, this one peaks up to 825 watts. Yeah, for this one. It comes with its own little connections. So you can connect it to the battery, like I tell you, it's batteries. So you can connect it to the battery, red and black wire. So you can connect it to the battery, and that would make it great. So you're fine with that, connecting it to the battery. So the battery is what supplies the power to your inverter so that it can supply the power to whatever it is that whatever devices or gadgets you're plugging into that. So that's it for the inverters. No, I remember telling you about the wind turbines. The wind turbine that I have, the wind turbine comes with its own little controller. It doesn't need a controller. It has a built-in controller. There are things that I use that I set up my own little solar energy for. So I have a turtle pond. Um, I also have another pond itself, or I wouldn't call it a pond. I would call it more like a fountain. Yeah. So I have the pond, a fountain. I have two fountains, and they are all solar operated. In order to set them up, I had to get this. So this is a controller. So what I do is I get a panel and I get my battery. You remember I was telling you about those used car batteries? Mhm. That's the one that I use. So I get the battery, I have a panel, and it has an area where you set up whatever it is. So instead of using the plugs, you can, like the inverter, it has something where you just push a wire in, lock it, and you get that electricity in. What this controller does is it's able to charge a battery while operating whatever it is you have a fix, probably a light, or in my case, my pumps. The pumps for my fountain, and especially that turtle pond. That's what is used to operate it. Um, so what happens now is when I have this plug, oh, and this controller, I don't know if you can see it, it has some USB connections here. I can use this and charge my cell phone. This, I can use it and charge my cell phone. Just this little device and my battery and charge my cell phone. I think it tells you the amperage. I told you about this last week, where I told you that different different USB ports have different amps. You remember that? You remember that, Storm? Where we talk about that? Yeah. Different USB ports have different amps. So before I would plug my phone into this, I need to know that my phone can manage that amount of amp. I don't want my phone to be operating on a 2 amp and I plug it into a 5 amp. No. So I have to be careful as to how I don't plug my phone in any USB device. And I tend to use my own charger. All right. So this little, as small as you see it is very useful for me in order to operate those turtle ponds or the pond or the fountain. It's honestly essential. So the setup that I'm planning to do, I don't need this, or I don't need a bigger one like this. What I need is the turbine, and I have the turbine already. I have the inverter already. All I need is batteries. So if there's anyone out there who can tell me where I can get some marine batteries, and the reason why I'm asking for marine batteries, I need amperes to be huge. I need the cranking power to be huge. So that when I charge that, it can probably last me a while before. I think I would probably need about 2 or 3 days that I can run it without any wind at all, that's what I would really need. So if I get a higher cranking capacity on it, I'm fine. I would be great with whatever it is that I get once it's a high capacity. Um, the beauty about using a wind turbine is that the wind turbine comes with its own controller, like I tell you. And for me, where I live, I constantly have that breeze. Especially now, it would be perfect. Perfect. Even if I don't get the sun, I would get some breeze. So whatever it is that I'm using it for would be charged. So that's it for the wind turbine and the solar panels. Another way, um, with Amanda, your live, your wisdom, may God bless you. Thank you, Azevedo. Um, Thanks. Another thing that I used to use is I have a single charging port. And the reason why I think a charging port is a single charging port is beneficial if you have multiple persons in a household, and especially in the evenings, multiple devices to charge. So you have your tablet, you have your phones, you have some persons have the watch that needs to be charged as well. Um, what other device? You name it. Once it needs charging, then and it has that USB connection, and you have your own wiring, you can get it charged. So this is what I have. And on it, you see it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has 6 ports. Right. However, this one is electrically connected. So what I would suggest, you don't leave it plugged in. What you do is in the evening when everybody gets home, um, in the evening when everyone gets home, then they would plug this in, and everybody's phone is plugged into a slot, or the tablets, or the watches, whatever it is that you're charging that has that USB connection. So you plug it in, and as soon as all those devices are charged, plug it out. Guys, question I asked saved greatly from I found this channel and it's free. Thank you, Storm. So you can use that. And like I said, I would not use it if I have a single phone charging. It doesn't make any sense. It can use, like I said, 6 things to charge. So it would be beneficial then. Not for you having one single cell phone like myself to charge. No. You really use it for multiple devices. The other thing that I think I showed you last week or the week before, where I show you the switch. The one that I show you that when I have the appliances plugged in some very peculiar spots, and I need it to be off, and I need to be able to control that device from, as a matter of fact, from anywhere I am in the home. I can shut it down. No, my house is not smart. It's not smart. I do not want a smart house, and I would not think that the only smart devices that I have using is my camera system and my doorbell. I have nothing more that is smart. This switch that I'm telling you about, or I have told you about, it comes in the pack of 5. I've spoken about it numerous times on my channel. I have suggested to persons to get some of these because where our plugs are, it's hard to reach. And so the easiest way to reach them is to use some of these. I'm not your boss, Storm. So the easiest way to reach them is to get some of these, and this is it. You get this, sometimes you get it. And by the way, Stormy, I know you're going to ask me where I get it. I got this online. I have not seen them out here. I have not searched for them out here. And I can't tell you if they are even sold out here, but I've purchased mine online. I got these online. I think it was a pack of 5. I think it was a pack of 5 of them. And I got, at the time, I got 2 remote controls with it. So I got the 2 remote controls, and I set them up all over the place. The microwave, the radio room, the attic, the washroom, and the TV room at the time. Right. And the TV room was for my PC. My PC is also in a surge. There's also I've told you about it before. I think my TV room would use the most devices that I have because in my TV room I host my computer as well, which is a gaming computer. It has a lot of lights in here as well. My keyboard light up, my mouse light up. I don't know what don't light up in here. So it houses a lot of things that needs to be powered. The intention is to take it off the grid totally. Right now it's partially on the grid. The intention is to take it off the grid totally, which would great. It would save me quite a sum. It would take me not quite a sum. I just need batteries. If I get batteries, I'm game. I'm good. I have one of these only on my PC. And from this, the cord leads to a surge. And then from the surge, my PC is plugged in. Thank you, Beetle. And then my PC is plugged in. This one that I have in my hand is bad. I think I may have been the contributor to this thing getting bad because of laziness. The cord is in, the plug is in reach. So what tend to happen is I'm coming in the TV room and I want the computer to turn on and I hear the clicking. I just click it. I don't use the remote, which I should be using the remote. As a matter of fact, I got 2 remotes and I really live on one remote. I have not taken the strip out of the battery for the other remote. What I should have done, which the next set that I should buy, if all the sets go down, then I'll buy another set. What I should have done is keep the 2 remotes at 2 different spots or 2 different areas in the house so that whichever section of the house I'm in, I'm able to control those plugs. I'm able to have control over it. So I think I was a contributor for this one going bad. I have not thrown it away because anything can happen to the others and I may need to salvage this to fix those. Yeah, I fix things too. I'll try and pull it to see what happens. So I think I'm saving this. All right, so that's it for the switch, and these switch are remote control. And no, it's not smart. The only thing that thing, it might be artificial intelligence where I just press a button and that's it. it turns off or turn on. Is it like a TV remote? Yeah, so that's it. On top of using the charging port, I have used another type of timer, and this type of timer is able to, it has times on it. So it has where I can hold it, where the electricity is constantly passing through it. So if I plug something in there, because you notice it has a plug outlets. So if I plug something in there, it will have that. If I press it and put it on hold, it has a button as well. Hear it? Yeah. So if I press it and I put it on hold, the electricity will be constantly flowing through this device. If I put it on 1 hour, it means after an hour, no electricity. Whatever I plug in there, no electricity will come in. If I put it on 2 hours, the same goes. After 2 hours, that's it. And then it has 4 hours and 8 hours. So what I used to do when I used to use this charging port with the 6 USB ports, what I used to do is I use this. So when all the devices are plugged in, I set it for an hour, 2 hours max. And after that 1 or 2 hours, then it shut down. So if you should plug on your phone late, if you should plug on your phone in the last half hour, it will not be fully charged because it's an hour. No, I'm not Inspector Gadget. I like to have, I do honestly like to have these things to make my life easier, yet conserve. Because we have the tendency to be charging our cell phones, and we charge it in the nights. So, oh geez, I'm going to my bed and I put my phone on charge and it stays there. If we sleep for 8 hours, our phone stays there for 8 hours. You know how much electricity that is wasting? No. Or we have the charging the charging port with the plug plugged in the socket, and our phones were on it, and we plug off the phone and we leave the charging port in. Wasted electricity, phantom electricity. I'm trying to eliminate all of that. And in order to eliminate all of that, it means I need to get these gadgets. I need to get these things in order to make my life easier. So these are the things that, like I was telling you, that I use or I'm intending on using. Yeah, sometimes I have some things in my head. It happened to you to Storm, don't it? Yeah, it happened to me where I plug in the phone and I might all go on my bed. And when I go to my bed, oh Jesus. You wake up the next morning and you say, Jesus, your phone plug in. You have to try and cut that out because we're really wasting electricity that way. And if the sole intention is to save money in your pocket, that's my sole intention. And if the way to save that money means I conserve, them, I'm going to conserve because I need to save that money in my pocket. And whatever it is, I'm going to try and find whatever it is that's going to make me save that money. So if it means that I needed a pressure valve, I'm going to buy that pressure valve because I'm not going to be constantly replacing those pipes. No, I'm not going to constantly replacing those pipes. I need to get whatever it is to cut that bill down. I have had things in my head that, I say, there's a light, a scone light that I need, and it looked like that scone light is honestly in my head. And I think why that scone light came up in my head, I need that scone light to place in an area where it lights that area up, and I want that light to operate like people laugh. I need that light to operate with a some timing feature inside it, because you can't have lights that has timer built in inside of it. I have two. You can turn on back that light for me, thanks. Think I have. Okay, okay, Beto. um I think I have two such lights. I think I have two such lights that has that timer feature built inside of it. And that lights, those two lights that I have, they come on at a certain time. One of them is the candles. So the candles have that timer feature and it's battery operated. I think I love that about it. I wouldn't mind getting those cone lights as well. That is battery operated. I think I'm more comfortable with the battery operation than having it plugged in. Um, I would rather that feature than having um one that is plugged in. I think I would rather that battery operated. So I need a scone light that is battery operated and it has a timer feature. And if it has a timer feature, I would be able to set it for probably working for 6 to 8 hours a day. And it comes in, I would have it coming on at a particular time every day. It will be a security feature for when I'm not here. And I think I'm looking for such a light. I've seen some, however, how it works, the one that I've seen is when you have to turn it on. I don't want that light that I have to turn on. So if I turn it on one time, it doesn't chip out and chip back in. No, it doesn't. The one that I want, I have not seen it as yet. The ones that I've seen is not suitable for me. It might be suitable for you. I'm not going to be the one. I want these things to chip in automatically, battery operated, come on at a certain time, go off at a certain time, every day religiously like clockwork. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for something that is going to give me this hassle of turning on and turning off. I'm sorry. I'm not looking for that. Um, yes, I would say that I use, I don't know if I want to call it gadgets. I do use a lot of things, or as Storm would say, Inspector Gadget, to make my life easier. And the first thing I think about when I go that route is finding one that not will only make my life easier, but one that will help me to conserve. Remember, for me, conservation is painless out of my pocket. It honestly hard for me to take up a huge sum of money to pay for something that I honestly think our country is filled with this sun and this breeze where we can get this electricity through the sun or even the wind. I honestly don't see why we should be paying so much for electricity. In terms of water, it's all about how much we conserve. So you don't have to. I have a lot of plants. Yes, I have to water them. If I don't water them, they're going to dry down. So setting up whatever it is so that your plants can get watered, because we do get rain, so you can catch the rain and set it up that you're fine. Your plants are watered, and hey, rainwater is better for the plants. It's much better for the plants than even the tap water itself. It's better. If you notice when rain fall on your plants, how fresh they look, how nice. Yeah. So it's better for your plants. So that's an easier way of conserving, a better way of conserving in terms of water. The other one, you have to honestly for the electricity, you have to make an earnest effort to conserve. Um, it's now 6:59. I'll be off in the next minute. We're on the live from 6 to 7 every Sunday, so you can join in, tell your friends to join in, ask the questions. They can see how they can save, how I can help them to save that money in their pockets. Because that's the aim for me. I don't know what it is for you. I don't know if you honestly want to honestly make an earnest effort to save that electricity, but for me, is the money in my pocket. That's what really counts. So thank you for joining the live. I will post it so that you can watch it at a later date or send your friend over to watch it at a later date. And remember, please don't let conservation be a burden. Bye.